I mean, I think there's two options here that make total sense. I'm going to go with the young guy if we're starting a team, so I'm going to go with Penei Sewell.
Dang you.
Yeah.
That's who I want. Oh.
I mean, I think there should be an easy number two then if you're going to – but that's my board might be different than your board.
An easy number two, he says.
Yeah.
Does he play left tackle or right tackle?
I can't tell you that.
Does he play both, perhaps?
He plays more than left tackle, I'll tell you that.
So the two guys I'm considering, gosh, I hope that they're at least one of your guys. That way I don't look like an idiot.
What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome.
So we got your top 10. Just to recap really quick, you have going from 10 to 1, you have the Cincinnati Bengals at 10, the Los Angeles Rams at 9, Buffalo Bills at 8, Atlanta Falcons at 7, Indianapolis Colts at 6, Baltimore Ravens at 5, Cleveland Browns at 4, Philadelphia Eagles at 3, San Francisco 49ers at 2, and the Detroit Lions at 1. That's a pretty awesome list. I noticed, did all 4 AFC North teams get in there for you? They did.
No. One's down. The one Steelers.
The Steelers.
In there. Yeah.
So actually, in this next little bit, I wanted to ask you 2 questions. How do you feel about the Green Bay Packers? Because I think a lot of people see them as a top 10 unit, specifically because they're great in pass pro.
Right.
And awesome in pass pro. Run blocking is a little bit of a different story. And then 2, team that you think has the best chance to make the list next year that's not on there this year. I was going to go with the Steelers just because the way they drafted this year. I think it was a foundational draft, although rookies tend to suck, and they're probably going to play 2 of them this year. So,
yeah.
Anyways, Packers, how do you view them?
Yeah, so I mean, I had them at 14, and so I don't think they're far off from being in this group. Like I mean, they have a strong chance of being that team that gets in there. You know, it could be if I did this at the end of the season or something, like they could be in that group easily. You know, I think they got a rookie coming in, at least penciled in Jordan Morgan to start at right guard. You know, you're not totally sure what he's going to be in the NFL. Rasheed Walker, left tackle, was in his first year starting last year. He did well, but we'll see what if you can keep that trend going. You know, Josh Myers, their center, I think was the weak link. So, like to your point before, like they had in my mind they have a clear weak link, so that kind of kept them lower. But then Zach Tom at right tackle, he was good in protection, and actually was even better as a run blocker. So probably the rare guy there that was better as a run blocker. I think they have a lot of good pieces. Like Elvin Jenkins been there for a while. He's a quality player. They have the pieces. I think like what kept them back for me was just the center being a clear weak link, and then the right guard not being a rookie. Like just you need to see more of him really before giving that boost. But that being said, the entire offense was on a heater in the second half of the year. So like if they keep it going, they're probably going to end up outperforming number 14 on the list. So I would see them as having a really good shot of being in that list, this time next year.
Awesome. And the Steelers, so like they're a team that I've praised the way that because like rewind to the end of the 2022 season, that offensive line was in terrible shape. Yeah. If you wrote this article back then, you may have ranked them 32nd for that matter.
Right.
And they've done a really good job bringing Isaac Seumalo over last year. They drafted Broderick Jones. They go out in this draft and grab Zach Frazier and Troy Fontano, who were 2 guys I absolutely loved, by the way. I just feel like they have such a good – was it Mason McCormick too? I also loved him. Dang.
Yeah.
So they've done such a good job of rebuilding that with young guys. It's going to take time because young guys don't usually perform great right away. It takes that's a lot of your top 10 offensive lines. They are veteran-heavy teams. So it does take time. I do feel like, though, that's a really good like high-end pedigree talent that could completely turn around that offensive line.
It could. I agree with you. And I couldn't agree more that historically drafting wise and they have been very good. Like I think, being in that division with them in Baltimore, it was hard every time watching the draft and like they would snag a guy that like we wanted or just like, oh, you just say that guy's a Raven or that guy's a Steeler. Like it just fits that team, They quality run organization. They have a plan. They know what kind of guys they're looking for. What I see and what kept them low for me, I mean, I'm at 26, is to your point, like very little continuity, a lot of young guys. You're going to have 2 rookies, and then Broderick Jones playing left tackle, but he played all last year right tackle. So you could almost call him a rookie at left tackle. So it's just so unproven to me, and like with a lot of young players, like with Broderick Jones, he wasn't great last year at right tackle. You know, he didn't have to. I mean, Chusa Okorafor wasn't great either when we replaced, so he didn't have a ton of competition. But he gets in there right tackle. Now he's moving to left. It's just, you're right. I think they have a plan, and they're trying to build that foundation of the line again. I just don't see it this year. Like I think they have too much change, too many young players, and now new quarterbacks too. I should say. You don't know which one's going to start yet, but
both of whom do no favors for their offensive line.
Correct. So I think there's a lot kind of working against this unit to kind of keep them low for me.
All right, expectations officially tempered there for me. All right, we're gonna round this podcast out with a little fun exercise. I mentioned the draft that like Brandon Thorne and Andrew Whitworth did, going through, kind of just if they could just draft anyone, how would that draft go? And so I figured I'd put you on the spot. We could do a little snake draft here. Okay. I'll give you the first pick, but we're going to draft out a starting offensive line and a swing player. That is, the swing player has to be under the age of 25 because I think that's a really cool element. Shout out to Trent Williams, by the way, and Brandon Thorne. Great podcast. For sure, check him out if you're interested in offensive line play. I'm admittedly stealing this idea from Brandon. So he's a friend of the show. He's been on the podcast. Or I should say my other podcast. So anyways, we're stealing the idea. We're going to do a draft. Scott, first pick. You're on the clock.
I mean, I think there's 2 options here that make total sense. I'm going to go with the young guy if we're starting a team. So I'm going to go with Penei Sewell.
Dang you. Yeah. That's who I want.
Oh. I mean, I think there should be an easy number 2 then if you're going to. But that's my board might be different than your board.
An easy number 2, he says.
Yeah.
Does he play left tackle or right tackle?
I can't tell you that.
Does he play both, perhaps?
He plays more than left tackle, I'll tell you that.
So the 2 guys I'm considering, gosh, I hope that they're at least one of your guys. So that way I don't look like an idiot. But I was going to go Tristan Wirfs.
Oh, that's a good pick. No, but that's a good pick.
The question is, do I play him at right tackle or left tackle? I'm going to go right tackle.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. But so you're going to get your number 1.
I'm going to get my top 2. Yeah. I'm just going to take Trent Williams at left.
Okay. That I was thinking of that too. Yeah. He obviously is the best, the best tackle in the game still. I was just thinking like contract plus age. I'm like, do I want to like, I could probably avoid that and still get really good play. Yeah. So, all right. Well, then I'm going to go Rashawn Slater for my left tackle.
Okay. Quality interior players. All right, fine. I'm going to go with the guy that I liked a lot coming out of college out of the draft last year. I'm going to go left guard Matt Bergeron.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, that building. He's arrow up. I liked him a lot coming out. He looked good in his first year. He's young, to your point. I think he can be, I guess, a cornerstone piece there on the left side. Because what we just talked about, like I got an old guy at left tackle, but this guy Bergeron could possibly kick out there, or he can be the strong vet inside when you get a new rookie left tackle.
Okay. All right. I like that. I'm going to go. Man, this is my bias is about to screech right through this. I'm going to go Frank Ragnow at center.
Okay.
I think center is a very valuable position for communication. Frank is probably with Kelsey retiring, he's probably the best in the business. It's either him or Humphrey. So I'm gonna go Frank Ragnow at center.
Mm-hmm. Solid choice. All right, we got I like Creed Humphrey. Like he we didn't talk about KC, but like they have another very strong interior, and I mean he's been good since he came in. I mean, so
they were my 8, by the way. I had KC at 8.
Okay,
so.
Yeah. Peek behind the curtain. I did, I broke it down by conference first and then put everything together. And like they were, the Buffalo, Cincinnati, KC, like we're all kind of in the similar grouping, for me. So I mean, yeah, they're a tough interior for sure. So I like Creed Humphrey. All right, so
are you taking him then or no?
I didn't say that. I'm gonna take a guy who is not. So I already took a left guard. I'm gonna take another left guard, move him over. I'm gonna take Tyler Smith out of Dallas.
Oh yeah, that was hoping that would be my left guard.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I need some veteran presence here, so I'm gonna go Zack Martin for my right guard.
Quality.
Tyler Smith, plays on the same line as Tyler Smith. So back-to-back Cowboys with the fourth pick.
Yeah.
To round out their. Oh no, you still have one more guard.
So one more, yeah.
You have a center.
I do have a center. I need one. I got a guy. I kind of want him to be the swing, so I'm thinking a little bit further here. Who I want to go get? Oh,
I feel like there's two for you here that are pretty clear, but
there's two what?
I feel like there's two center options for you here that are pretty clear, but
all right. So I think that I'm going to go with Cushenberry, Lloyd Cushenberry out of Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
He's with Denver now with Tennessee. Yeah. So I think he's an underrated center, and he's going to be a quality guy too. A vet, not an old vet, but just a mid-year vet that can be the middle, be the pivot point. And I mean, I think I'm hoping that I can get my swing guy who's going to play all three in the middle and just be the next guy in here.
Left guard, I think I'm going to go Landon Dickerson here.
Okay.
I like Landon. I think he's awesome. Fits what I want to do. So we're going to go Landon Dickerson.
We definitely did not snake draft this, by the way.
Yeah, we did.
We did? You didn't take two in a row?
Oh, no, we didn't. No, we didn't snake draft. No,
yeah.
No. When it's only two people, there's no.
I guess. Yeah. Okay, so then my final pick is going to be my guy from Philly, Cam Jergens. He's going to be my swing.
Okay, so you're. All right, I really like that pick, but I love even more that you left me the swing guy I wanted, which is Minnesota offensive tackle Christian Darrisaw.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's developed really nicely. My big concern with him coming out of college is he had 12 true pass sets as a senior or junior, whatever he was at Virginia Tech. I'm not exaggerating. It was literally 12. Maybe it was 20, but it was something ridiculous where there was no true pass sets. And he's actually developed into a really good pass protector, developed that kick slide pretty nicely. So I'm a big Darrisaw fan, and I get him as my swing. All right, so my offensive line shaked out as at left tackle, I got Rashawn Slater. At left guard, I got Landon Dickerson. At center, I got Frank Ragnow. At right guard, I got Hall of Famer Zack Martin. And then at right tackle, I'm at Tristan Wirfs with my swing offensive lineman being Christian Darrisaw. And then Scott went with left tackle Trent Williams, left guard Matt Bergeron, center Lloyd Cushenberry, right guard Tyler Smith, right tackle Penei Sewell, interior Cam Jergens, who's your swing interior guy. So what's crazy is I feel like I'm a little stronger on the interior than you, but you have Trent Williams and Penei Sewell, so I automatically lose. You have the two best tackles in the game. So, dang.
Wirfs is a good pick, though. I actually was thinking, who are you talking about playing both? But yeah, he's a good player. I think that year when it was him, Wills, and from the Giants,
Andrew Thomas,
yeah. And then Becton also, yeah. So that was a fun group of guys to break down.
Yeah, it was. It felt like the NFL forced Tom Brady to be able to get Tristan Wirfs. It was just come on, seriously. I thought Wirfs was the best tackle prospect in that class. Not even close. Obviously, Thomas has been awesome as well. So there's no disrespect there. And I thought about going Thomas here even, but. Thomas, the league is in good hands with young offensive linemen like Penei, Tristan, Slater, Andrew Thomas. Those are a lot of really good players. Darrisaw is another one who's under 25 and is a stud. But all right, cool. That is gonna do it for us. Scott, thank you so much for joining the show. Remember, folks, no matter what develops, we will always be your first read. Thanks for listening. We are out.